Welcome to the session today. Hope you guys are doing good. So let us start this session. Okay. So if you remember, yesterday we have seen about PubSub. So let us start. PubSub is like you can think of like it's a messaging service where a two or one or two or more than two applications can independently exchange the messages between them. So there is no medium required. PubSub will take care of everything, and it's a fully managed service. There is no need to take care of infrastructure as well. You just have to create a topic. Topic will be used by the application, and application sends the messages to the topic, and whoever the subscriber to the application or a topic, so that whenever there is a new message in the topic, it will be moved to the subscriber via subscription. So this is what happens, right? Yeah. Okay, today we're gonna see about cloud functions. So let us see what is cloud functions and why we are using it. Okay, so let's see what is cloud functions. So cloud function is a event driven solution. Okay, event driven solution. The name itself it is saying that, so due to the an event, if an event is happening, the cloud function gets triggered. Okay, due to one event is happening, the cloud functions gets triggered. So it's an event driven solution. Next thing is that it's a fully managed service. Okay, and single purpose function. So the main function, you can use it as a single purpose. For example, you can't use it for the creating an entire application, or you can't use it for creating one service, but you can use it for the single purpose. For example, assume it like this: you are there is a cloud storage. Okay, there's a cloud storage. This is our cloud function. What is a cloud function is that a cloud function is an event driven solution. For example, if there is a bucket, assume that there is a one bucket here. This is bucket one. Okay. In this bucket, if any of the new file is created, if a new file is created, as soon as the new file is created, if you want the cloud function to be triggered, you can actually trigger this cloud function. So the cloud function can be triggered whenever a new file is created in a bucket. That's an event. Okay. This particular thing is an event. So whenever a new event is happening, the cloud functions gets triggered. Whenever the cloud function is triggered, you can use you can create your own code. You can create your own code that will run. The code will run. Okay, this code will run. This code can comprise of anything, like moving this file to the BigQuery, or deleting this bucket, deleting this file, or converting that file to the one more format. Anything it will do. Okay, so that's what is a cloud function is for. A cloud function is like a, as per the event, it gets triggered, and when it is getting triggered, it can do anything. It can do, like, moving that particular file to the BigQuery. That's one of the activity. Okay, or deleting that particular file, or converting that file format from one format to the one more format. Okay, so this is what happens, guys. You give me 1 minute. Sorry, guys. So what I was saying is that, for example, whenever a new event is happening in the cloud storage, so now the cloud storage is acting as a trigger. So for example, whenever a new file is created inside the one of the bucket in the cloud storage, the cloud function is getting triggered. Whenever the cloud function is getting triggered, it can do one more thing. Okay, so this is what is a cloud function, guys. Cloud function is nothing but an event driven solution, and it's a single purpose. It is available in GCP, AWS, and Azure with the same name. And one more thing is that, so if you wanted to write this code, right? So you are writing this code, right? This code can be written in any of the language: Python, Java, R, and Node.js. So any of these programming languages, you can use it to create your cloud function. So this is your cloud function, sir. So it's something like this. This is your trigger type. There are many trigger types are there. This is your trigger type. Now here the trigger type is cloud storage. It can be a cloud storage. The trigger type can also be a PubSub. So whenever a cloud function, it can use many triggers. There are two types of triggers are there. One is HTTP triggers. So I will show you directly. So if we go to the cloud function, you can see it here. Cloud function is a event-driven solution. Look at here. Cloud function is a lightweight, event-based, asynchronous computing solution that allows you to create small, single-purpose functions that respond to the cloud events without the need to manage the infrastructure or the runtime environment. Okay, so let's try to create it so that you will come to know. Once you click on the cloud function, you have like environments. There are two types of environment. One is first gen, one more is second gen. Okay, you can use any of the environment. I'm using the first gen environment. And you can give a function name. You can select the region. You can select the trigger. Either it can be a HTTP triggers. You can see here, there are many things. You can select a HTTP triggers or the cloud PubSub, cloud storage, or the Firestore. So you can select any of these things. Okay. So what is this HTTP trigger? You see here URL. So when someone is selecting this particular URL, this particular cloud function gets triggered. So the trigger type is must. Cloud function, if the cloud function has to get triggered, you can use HTTP. Trigger type as HTTP or the cloud storage or the PubSub or the Firestore. You can use any of these things as a trigger type. So what is this HTTP? HTTP mainly used by the developers. We don't actually use it. So HTTP is used by the developers. What they use it, right? For example, they wanted to create some web page. Okay, if they wanted to create some web page, they will be using. And cloud storage mainly used by the data engineers, where when of the file is created, then if you wanted to trigger your cloud function, you can use it. Or the PubSub also the same thing. Whenever a new message in the topic, the cloud function gets triggered. Whenever a new message in the topic, the cloud functions gets triggered. And Firestore, whenever a new record is created, the cloud functions get triggered. So you can use any of these source triggers to trigger the cloud function. Okay. So let me give you two examples. For example, let me show you the HTTP and cloud storage. Assume that I have selected the trigger type as HTTP and the URL key. So let me select this URL and paste it here. Nothing, right? There isn't anything. Now let us go. Save the trigger type. 1 minute, guys. So the very first thing is that whenever we wanted to create a cloud function, we must select the trigger. The trigger type can be anything. The trigger type can be HTTP Cloud Pub Storage, and we will see two of the examples so that you will be able to come to know. The cloud function is this one. So sorry, the trigger is this one I have selected, and I'm going to click on save. The next thing is the runtime and build connections and security. So you can select your memory allocation. So maximum memory is 8 GB. Request a timeout. You can select the timeout as 90 seconds or maximum is 540 seconds. Okay, maximum is 540 seconds. And auto scaling features are also there. I'm going to go until 4 instances only. And we are using the App Engine default service account. Okay, so explore all of these options. Just click on next. Now, so far what we have done, we just selected the trigger type. So once the trigger, the cloud function, what do you want it to do? If you wanted to do something only, then the cloud function is now created. So why the cloud function is developed? The cloud function is developed whenever a trigger is, whenever some activity is happening or an event is happening, you wanted to do one more event. So for that purpose only the cloud functions are created. See, if this event is happening, the event here done nothing but someone is accessing your web address. Here the event is something, someone is creating a file or deleting a file. Here the event nothing but a new message in the topic. Here a new record created in the database. So these are the events. Whenever event is happening, the cloud functions gets triggered. And you want it to be idle? No. You wanted to do one more event. You wanted to do one activity. So let us try to create that activity now. See, nothing is happening. Now, what I wanted to do is that if someone is accessing this web address, I wanted to create a message there. I wanted to create a message saying that hello world. Okay, with the Python language I'm going to use. So it's going to print a hello world on top of this web page. Let us see now. So the main.py is there. I am not creating any custom code. You can actually create your custom code. So for example, it's not hello world. It's hello everyone. Welcome to the okay. So this is the message I wanted it to be print on top of this web page. For that one, I have created my own custom code. Okay, and the requirements also mentioned here. Now I'm going to deploy it. Now it is a HTTP cloud function. Let's wait for some time. It's going to be deployed. So let us wait for some time. So once it is deployed, right, what will happen is that whenever you access that web address, so if you access this web address, on top of the web address, it's supposed to print that. So you can also see here the source code, it's going to be printing this particular thing, right? So let me go here and refresh it. I do not have a permission to URL from this server. So for example, some permission issues. One minute. Okay, some permission issue. Let us see what is this. Cloud function permission is master. So sorry. All users, cloud functions, cloud function invoker. Okay. All users can invoke the cloud function. Save it. Policy updated. Now let me go and refresh. See here. Hello everyone. Welcome to the GCP Data Engineer sessions. Okay. So now whenever someone is accessing this web address, automatically this web page is going to work. Automatically the web page is going to work. So that's the main purpose of using the cloud function. The web page is actually not active all the time. It's not active all the time. Whenever someone is triggering it, the cloud function runs. The cloud function runs, this website creates. So as soon as it is created, the cloud function gets triggered. So that's what happens behind the scene. Okay, any questions, anyone? Let's do one more activity. Let's create one more cloud function. So let me go back. Let me create one more cloud function. Now what I wanted to do is that it's a very simple thing. So this is you might have already seen that also. For example, the requirement can be very simple. This is one we have seen. The next thing is this one. See, as soon as the file is created in the cloud storage bucket, you wanted it to move it to the BigQuery. Okay, as soon as assume that this is your cloud storage. As soon as the file is created in the cloud storage bucket, this is your bucket. As soon as the file is created in the cloud storage bucket, you want that to be moved to the BigQuery. The table here. As the table inside one data set. Okay, so this is what you wanted to do. Data set. Under a data set, you wanted to create a table. So this particular file supposed to be a table here inside the BigQuery. Okay, and for that, I am going to use the cloud function. Okay, I am going to use the cloud function. Okay, hope you guys able to understand. As soon as the file is created, we should not do it. So usually if I wanted to move the file, what we are doing some pipelines, we are creating something, right? Now I don't want it to do anything. Automatically, if the file is created, I wanted it to be created table inside the BigQuery. Automatically everything should happen. Okay, so let us try to do that. So the trigger type can be cloud storage, and the code I'm going to write to move it to the BigQuery. So the code actually says move it to the BigQuery. Okay, this is our trigger. Okay, so let us now do it. So the function 2 I am saying trigger type, I'm selecting the cloud storage. The event is what the events are. I'm deleting, I'm creating a bucket and creating a file inside the bucket, right? See here, deleting, archiving, metadata update, or creating a file inside the cloud storage bucket. And which bucket you are going to select it? So let me do one thing. Let me open the cloud storage. Let me also open the BigQuery. I'm going to select this random bucket. I'm going to delete all of these things. This is my source bucket, okay? So I wanted any of the file created in this bucket, right? I want that file to move it to the BigQuery. For that, I'm going to select this bucket. So random bucket. This is a random bucket, right? You see, you do not have anything. Unselect it. That means what? Whenever a file created in this bucket, the cloud function gets triggered. The trigger type is cloud storage. Save. I click on next. Now we have to mention the code here. Okay, we have to mention the code here, but this code will not work. So you wanted to move the data to the cloud storage, cloud storage to the BigQuery. For that purpose, I have the code ready. Let me paste it here. And I'm going to explain it to you guys. So it's a Python code. You can select Python 3.7. It's not why it's not updating. I don't know why. Oh, it's supposed to be update. 1 minute. Yeah, it is updated. Now it is good. Let us me paste it. Okay. So now first thing is that what is your entry point? Okay, you must specify the entry point. The entry point is this one. Loading it to the BigQuery. This activity should start. So whatever the function you have defined, right, that function you can mention it here. Okay, so what this function is doing, let us see. So first thing, this function load to the BigQuery, it is getting some data and it is doing something. Getting the data from the information. It is getting some information because you wanted to move that particular file to the cloud storage, Google BigQuery, right? So which file it is? What is the file name? What is the bucket name? The file name is, the file name actually we are extracting from the event. So this function, whenever it is triggered, that event is happening, right? From that event, I am getting the name, file name. I am getting the bucket name. Okay. And after that, the query can be initialized and the data set to which you wanted to send this table. I wanted to send it to this example data set. Okay. Copy this data set. Okay, this data set I wanted to send it to, and the table ID. Source URI. So whatever the bucket you have given, I'm creating a URL for that with the file name and the file extension. If it is a CSV, then it will be doing this thing. Source format is going to be the CSV. If it is a JSON, it will check it. Okay, it will check the source format also, and then it will try to move that file. Before moving that file to the BigQuery, we need to mention some configuration. So auto detecting the schema, leading the header row, source format, all of those things. And whenever it is moving it, you can use this one. Load from URI. Source URI is this one. Dataset ID dot table ID and job configuration. Table ID is this one, sir. Table ID is very simple. Usually, whenever you get the file name right, the file name will have many things. So we are just taking the first index. Okay, we are going to split it and we are going to take it the first index. So that's the reason it is this one. Okay. Now, whatever the file it is, whether it is a JSON file or a CSV file, it will be automatically moved to the BigQuery. Okay. And skipping the header rows, everything is here, and job.result. So this is the main thing to start the load. So this function will run whenever this particular job is running from the source URI, from this cloud storage. The table will be created in this particular format, dataset ID dot table ID. Okay, so I think this is good. So let us try deploying it or testing it, or you can directly deploy it. That's actually fine. You can actually deploy it. And requirement.txt also we should mention. So we are using the cloud storage, we are using the BigQuery, right? You can mention the cloud storage as well as BigQuery. Deploy. Okay, it's deployed. So you can go to the trigger type. You see it's the bucket. This is the bucket. What I'm going to do, I went to this bucket. Okay, I went to this bucket. I'm going to upload some file. I'm going to upload, the file name is the employee. I'm uploading this file to this particular bucket. So whenever a file created, the cloud functions gets triggered, right? You can also go out to the logs and see it. Oh, it's crashed. Let's see. Something wrong here. 1 minute. Let me look at the code. No, this is fine. Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. Let me do it one more time. Let me upload it, this one. That's fine. Maybe it's still creating. The code function was still running. Let me see it now. One more entry should come. You can also refresh here. See here now, one more table is created just now. 5 records and the preview, right? So this is how. Okay, so let me do one more file. So you see here, function started and function execution took almost to 3714 milliseconds and finished with the status okay. Okay, so we have only 4 tables. Let me do one more thing. Okay, so let me do sales. Okay, I am doing the sales.csv, and if I go here, if I refresh here, see here sales table came, product ID, quantity, sales amount. So like this, all the things will come into the picture. So if you wanted to do one more thing, uh, okay, sorry, not here. Here, okay, I'm gonna do this thing. The file name is zigzag. It's not so correct. You can see here. It's a dataset underscore playlist underscore 2022 to 2023.csv. And if I'm gonna go here and refresh, see here it came. Okay, all the tables are also created. Okay, so as soon as you create the file, automatically it will be creating a tables here. So that's the beauty of the cloud function, sir. So that is the reason it's an event driven solution. Now you created an event. That event is this thing. Cloud storage is the event. Creating a file inside the bucket is the event. As soon as it is created and the source code will run, and once the source code is run, it's going to be doing all of this activity. Okay, so this is what it is, sir. Any questions, anyone? Any questions? Yeah, I will send it to you guys. Yes. Sure, yeah. Okay, guys. I'm gonna create here. Keep it here. So you can use this thing for one function. I have a one more. The assignment you can work on this thing as well. You can use this thing also. So what this is, that is PubSub activity. Okay, and this is a message for the PubSub. So this is for cloud storage. Okay, and this is for PubSub. Okay, what you have to do is that PubSub is also the same thing. This is your main, and you have to create your topic, guys. Okay, So I'm going to open the code and try to explain. Okay, similar fashion, you provide your data set, project and table name, all the things you have to mention it here. Once it is mentioned, what the PubSub will do is that this is your function, PubSub to BigQuery. So it gets some data from this particular thing. Okay, whatever the event is happening from the event, it will get the data and it will convert the data into the JSON format, and it will be creating a table, dataset reference, table reference, and table ID from these three inputs. And whatever it is there, some errors are there, that will be inserted into the BigQuery. And if errors are there, that will be inserted. If not, the data will be inserted into the BigQuery directly. Okay. So all of these things are here. You can actually use this thing. And you have to enter your data set, project, table, and automatically it will work. Okay. And if any exceptions are there, it's going to be printing some error here. And once you have created your topic, right? So for the trigger type, you have to select the topic. So you can go to the topic and publish some message, right? So you need to publish some message also. So that custom message also I have given here. You can send this custom message. This is to create your table first, and then use this custom message to publish the data. Okay, try this one. First, to create the table in the BigQuery, because if you wanted to create a table also, you can able to create it. But usually PubSub is whenever the new message in the pops up, that data you have to insert it into the BigQuery. So already the table is exist. So that's the reason I want you guys to create this table in the BigQuery first. Then create a topic. So these are the things I'm going to do. First thing is create table in BigQuery. Next thing is create a topic, any topic. And that topic only you have to select in the trigger type. Okay, that topic you have to select in the trigger type. And then Python code with the requirements. Okay, you have to copy and paste it. And while you are copying and pasting, try to change your project dataset table. All the other things are good. Okay, change these three things. After that, publish message to topic. The custom message, the message is here. This is the message, sir. That message you have to publish. Okay, publish message to the topic. So you will, and once you have table created, right, automatically, so you have to use this same thing, sir. Whatever the project ID table, all of these things, the same thing you have to paste it here, create the table, and automatically publish the, whenever you publish the message, this message will go to that particular BigQuery. Okay, so try to do this thing. Once you do it, only you will come to know. Okay, I have pasted here all of those things as well. 1 minute, let me delete these things and copy these things. Okay, this is sample query, this is main.py, this is requirement.txt, this is a sample message. Okay, try to do it, sir. Any other questions, anyone? Are we good? Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you all.